School me on these debates that they be having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Can we not? Por favor.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too.
What if the most viral rise of the last couple of years wasn't just about a catchy hook and a slick routine, but also about how the internet turns opinions into evidence overnight? Tyla's surge looked effortless. One song everywhere, a dance the world copied in their kitchens, and suddenly she's on the biggest carpets, grabbing a Grammy and posting numbers that make any new artist blink. But the louder her name got, the messier the conversation became. Identity debates, EP numbers, industry plant accusations, and a swirl of rumors that sound dramatic, shareable, and not always provable. Today we're cutting through the noise, what's verified, what's being said, and what those conversations say about us as fans. Because the internet loves a breakthrough, and it loves a backlash even more.
Imagine proudly calling yourself colored, and that in turn makes the people in the country that you're in hate your music. And this has happened to our one and only Tyla when she released the EP WWP, which garnered 3.7k units in its first week. And a whole lot of people are saying that, this is a deserved flop
Before the theories, the facts. Water didn't just trend, it detonated. It leapt from TikTok dances to radio to award shows, and on February 4th, 2024, Tyla walked away with the first ever Grammy for Best African Music Performance. That matters. It wasn't a niche nod. It was the Academy stamping an entirely new category with a fresh face. A few weeks later, her debut album arrived and hit number 24 on the Billboard 200, roughly 20,000+ units in week one, with only a sliver of pure sales. Exactly how modern debuts often look, when a single outpaces everything else. In short, there was viral heat, there was institutional validation, and there was a chart performance that would be a dream for most new artists.
Don't expect to be identified as colored outside of South Africa by anyone not comfortable doing so, because I understand the weight of that word outside of South Africa. But to close this conversation, I am both colored in South Africa and a black woman.
Does a strong system help that momentum? Absolutely. Does that automatically mean strings were pulled in the shadows? Not automatically. Most overnight stories are two things at once: timing and strategy. One word can carry decades of history depending on where you're standing. In South Africa, colored is a formal identity category shaped by apartheid, a specific community with its own culture and story. In the US, the same word lands like a wound from a different era. When Tyla was asked about it in an American radio interview, the moment got awkward, clipped, and viral. Later, she clarified that she's a black woman and, in South Africa's context, also colored, a both and identity many South Africans recognize.
Tyla put out an EP recently, which, despite the fact that she's pushed heavily to the US market, only sold 3.7k units in the first week of its release in the United States. What's interesting to me is why, despite all of the heavy marketing around Tyla in the US market, she hasn't quite connected to the audience yet.
But the clip had already traveled farther than the explanation. For some, it looked like distance. For others, it was a cultural disconnect that needed time and context. That single misunderstanding became a lens for everything that followed, proof to some that she doesn't get us, and to others that the internet punishes nuance. And what happened next would shift the conversation again. Fast forward to 2025, when Tyla dropped a summertime EP often referred to as WWP/We Wanna Party. Online chatter quickly fixated on one figure. Reports claimed roughly 3.7k US first week units.
Do you want to be slimed? And if so, how much? Do you want to get drenched? Like, what kind of slime action do you want?
Girl, I'm not trying to... when I saw the video of Katy Perry getting slimed, I'm like, oh gosh, please not that. Like a little cute drizzle, you know? But I mean, yeah, we'll see whatever happens.
Cue the hot takes. But EPs in 2025 aren't built for pure sales glory. Streams and singles are the real levers, and EPs often serve as momentum bridges between eras. That's not spin, it's how the numbers game works now. Still, a tidy number is shareable, and flop fits cleanly into a tweet. So the nuance? Different release goals, release timing, tracklist length, and global streaming pull got lost in the pylon. The story wasn't what does the music sound like? It was what does this one screenshot say about her future? Which is a way of asking, do we still judge artists like it's 2012? Or are we pretending streaming didn't change the scoreboard? Once a number looks low, the internet reaches for the label it keeps on standby, industry plant.
What's one thing that you reckon the rest of the world could learn from the South African party scene?
I mean, South African people dance, for real. That's just the only thing I feel so strongly about. It's like, guys, like, what's the point? Like, you are literally getting ready to go out with your friends. Like,
Yes.
there's music, there's vibes to standing. I mean, I get it. That's some people's vibe, but
Yeah.
no.
Some commentators went further, claiming her image was engineered to attract younger fans while pushing more adult themes, that a team built a character, pressed the right buttons, and sat back while everyone argued. To be clear, there's no released contract, no court filing, no verified document that proves a sinister playbook. What exists are opinions, including from artists like Jaguar Wright, who publicly criticized Tyla's presentation and the way it might land with younger audiences. Those critiques can be sincere. They can also pick up speed because they feel emotionally true to people already frustrated. The internet often takes commentary, adds a theory, and uploads it as truth. Useful conversations about over-sexualization in pop can coexist with basic fairness.
I like when they talk from the back and say we can't. I like that. I like the character. That's good. That's even better.
A claim is still a claim until it's proven. And still, the most dramatic claims were just getting started. Here's where the rumors get cinematic. Talk of demonic or hidden clauses, of paperwork that supposedly forces artists to pump explicit ideas to the youngest audiences online. Rumors suggest all sorts of things, but rumors aren't receipts. The music business does have a long history of tough contracts, recoupment traps, and aggressive marketing tactics. That's real, and artists have spoken about it for decades.
And most of these people are American people, bruh. And this stems from the fact that Tyla once went to an interview there by the Breakfast Club, and they asked her about her being colored in a place where this word colored is not accepted. Us here in America, when you hear.
But when it comes to Tyla specifically, there's no credible documentation that proves she signed anything designed to push adult content to minors. If a contract like that existed and surfaced, it would detonate the industry in lawsuits by morning. Until then, this sits in the zone of the internet's favorite genre, ominous but unverified. It's okay to ask hard questions about marketing choices and audience targeting. It's not okay to present speculation as fact. Even so, optics added fuel. People saw Tyla at the right rooms, photographed at elite events, interviewed during the Clive Davis pre-Grammy buzz, praised in fashion circles, and assumed that access equals orchestration. Sometimes it does. Often it's exactly what happens when a breakout single becomes a cultural moment. Those rooms chase heat. The leap from she's at a gala to someone is pulling strings in the shadows depends on what you already believe about pop. The reality is simpler. A viral record, a Grammy, and a well-resourced label invite invites. That can amplify a star. And it can harden suspicions among skeptics who think the machine chooses winners. Both things can be true. But the loudest verdict didn't come from a ballroom. Scroll the comments on any Tyla clip and you'll see two timelines. In one, she's the future. A voice that rides Amapiano grooves with silky control. A dancer who can lock a crowd in seconds. An artist who brought an African pop sensibility into the center of the mainstream. In the other, she's a headline. Overhyped, manufactured, or protected by the machine. Some listeners say the lyrics feel too adult for the bubblegum packaging. Others argue that she never sold innocent. She sold rhythm and confidence, and people projected the rest. There's also the context people bring with them. If you were hurt by the colored moment, you might hear everything else with colder ears.
She's a Grammy Award winner, as well as a Billboard Women in Music Award winner. She sat front row at Chanel, one of the most prestigious fashion houses, alongside the most powerful women in fashion, Anna Wintour, and she's presently on the cover of Variety's Young Hollywood issue. So what's not clicking here? Now listen, I know that Tyla's fans don't want to hear this, but as somebody who likes Tyla and listened to the EP a few times and really...
If you grew up with that term as a proud identity, you might hear the backlash as another case of the internet not wanting to learn. That split doesn't just shape how we judge a song. It shapes whether we even press play. Every hot name gets future casting. She's leaving. She'll be bigger than ever. The label's done. She's getting pushed harder. There are even occasional whispers about visas and deportation, but there's no credible reporting backing dramatic claims about her immigration status. What is real is the obvious. If the music connects, the conversation changes. If it doesn't, the internet writes the ending. Tyla's advantage is global. She doesn't live or die by one country's timeline or 1 week's number. She's shown she can spin a record that travels. She's navigated a cross-cultural identity storm in public, and she's still young enough to reshape the arc. The next songs will make more noise than any rumor thread ever could. For now, the question isn't, was it all planned? It's simpler. Can she make you feel something again? Because feelings beat theories every time. When you strip away the spotlight glare, Tyla's story is the story of modern pop. Algorithm meets identity, momentum meets meaning, and the comment section tries to be the judge. The verified part is impressive. Viral ignition, a history-making Grammy, and a debut that landed. The unverified part is seductive. Secret contracts, shadowy agendas, and tidy explanations that make messy realities feel neat. Maybe the more interesting truth lives in between. A young artist learning to carry a conversation bigger than music while making music that keeps that conversation worth having. If there's any reveal here, it isn't a scandal. It's a reminder. The internet loves to fill in blanks. Your ears don't have to.